So hey world, welcome to my channel and welcome to The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol, episodes 4 and 5 review. And yes, I had to combine the two because I missed last week's episode because I did make a post about it, but basically the site where I usually watch, because I'm not from America, so I cannot watch just on television normally. So I do have a website that I use, but pretend I didn't say that. Uh, but they didn't have the subtitles. So when the season released, they already had all of the episodes for the season. But I'm like, because I'm gonna do the reviews, I didn't want to watch the whole season in just one sitting. And also I do watch reactions. So, and I like that it's like one episode a week. But the site where I watch, they already had all of the 6 episodes when the first premiered. But it only had the subtitles in French because I feel like the way it started the episode was it said Paramount. So I feel like in France, maybe they released all of the episodes at once or something. Because when the episode started, it said Paramount and not AMC. So maybe in France they released the episodes early or something. So they had all the 6 episodes. But I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to watch it. And so last week, and usually in every week when the episode releases, they change one file for the other, which means they already had those files, right? They already had those episodes there with the subtitles in French. But when the new episode releases, I'm missing the word. They changed the episode that was there to the AMC version with the English subtitle. And because this show does have a lot of, lines in French, I didn't want to watch the episode without subtitles. And also, even the English ones, because sometimes there's a lot of noise and you can't understand what they're saying. So, yeah, so basically that's the whole explanation. And which is fucked up because last week's episode was the one they reunited. And I'm like, motherfucking fucker. How am I gonna lose the episode where they didn't change in time? Because that's the thing. I didn't finish explaining. Usually when the episode releases, they change the one that was there to the AMC version. But last week they didn't, and so there was only the French version, and the whole week they didn't change it. They only changed it like yesterday, I think. So that's when I watched it. I watched it yesterday. And the new one already had the new subtitles. So they changed episode 4 and 5 at the same time. And I'm like, shit, now I'll watch both and do the review for both. But yeah, enough would be this is just the intro. Goddamn. But there's not necessarily like a lot to talk about from the episode. But I guess we'll see. So yeah, we'll start the episode with Carol. She was with Marion and she kind of found out that she was a friend of Daryl and she didn't actually want to kill him. So she put Carol in the middle of the people with they were going to kill. That scene kind of shocked me a little bit. Not because I thought something was going to happen to Carol, but because it was... Well, because it was fucked up. Like, they killed all of those people, first of all. Second... the fact that Carol experienced that also because she was like in the middle. She saw all those people die and then turn into zombies and then coming after her. That was fucking crazy. That was actually a crazy fucking scene. This season is so unhinged. And granted, The Walking Dead has been around for a long time. They did a lot of crazy stuff during those seasons. A lot of crazy stuff. But this show, specifically this season, and there's another scene that I'm going to talk in episode 5 that was actually so crazy too. They are really going all in with the horror and not just relying on zombies and making jump scares or something like that. No, like actually like horror and like scary. Like, do you know how scary that is that they were all killed right there? And even scarier than that is that Carol was among the bodies. And then another thing which scared me even more was that they actually injected her with the serum But it didn't went through, which I thought it was kind of weird because it went through for everyone else. I don't know. Because they had to inject and that thing has to go, right? They have to click it to go or no? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was different because they also had the darts in the guns that they shoot and it automatically put the virus. Because Carol did do that and Daryl used that in episode 5, like the darts and shoot to the zombies and it instantly infects them. But they injected Carol, but the serum didn't actually go through, so I feel like that was like different. And so I was like, oh my god, like what happens if a human gets the virus? Like what? And we do again, we do get that answer in episode 5, and this is why I didn't want to do 2 episodes, because all of these questions that I could have made, I could have made all these questions, whatever, and then it would be just a review for episode 4, right? But because now I watched episode 5, I kind of already have some of the answers. So in a way, it's good because I'm making the questions and I have the answers. But at the same time, I kind of like to make those theories about what's going to happen next. And so that's why I kind of didn't want to do. But I didn't have any other option. I couldn't watch the episode earlier, but whatever. And then the other guy, which I found him so hot in episode 5. The one that was tortured and whatever. Like, he was so hot. The way he was protecting Laurent. Oh my god, protect me. Like, bitch. Hello. And then, oh my god, fucking Isabel, you stupid bitch. You stupid bitch. If you go back to my other reviews, what did I say? I said, people are gonna die. And not just the background actors or the second characters, whatever you call it. But the main characters are gonna die. I told you it was gonna be Isabel and Ash. Ash hasn't died yet. But in episode 5, and because this is a review for both, usually I do things in order. And so this is what kind of fucks me up, because I go with the episode what happens in order. But yeah, because I'm doing the review for both, I already have some of the answers. So I can, when I speak about something, I can already like skip ahead to episode 5. And in a way, I kind of don't like doing that. But at the same time, fuck it. You know, I'm just going to do it. And yeah, I told you they were going to die, because he said at the end of episode 5, hello, we're not going to fit on the plane, bitches. Hello, y'all didn't think of that before? I mean, Carol didn't know, granted. Carol did not know about Laurent and Isabel and all of those people. She just wanted Daryl. So the 3 of them, sure, they can probably go. But then again, right, if the 3 of them can go, then why can't they go with Laurent? Laurent's a kid. So if the 3 of them can go, so like 2 in the front, 1 in the back, then why can't Laurent just go too? He's a child, so it's not like it's 4 people. It's 3 people and a child. So I feel like they can still go. I don't know. But I told you since the very first episode, they are not going to fit on the plane. They are not. And look, episode 5, we're not going to all fit. And now what? And granted, Isabel is already dead. So they don't even fit, and she's not even there. So imagine if she was. What are we going to do? And I was right. They killed Isabel. So what's going to happen next? They're going to kill Ash. Ash, and you're probably asking, oh my god, if they kill Ash, who's gonna fly the plane? Don't know, but probably Daryl or Carol, because they can do anything. It's probably Carol, because now she learned something of the plane. Oh, and now that I'm thinking about it, in episode 5, he did say the master, the student becomes the master. Because Carol was like cleaning the plane and like arranging some stuff. So maybe now she has some knowledge about driving the plane. Maybe she paid attention. Or even if she didn't, she's going to have to be forced to fly the plane. Because what if Ash dies? And then she's forced to fly the plane so that they can go. You know what I mean? Exactly. But then I guess she doesn't know the path, so maybe they end up somewhere else. Because I do think in season 3 they're going to be in Spain or something. I don't know. But then something else that I thought of was like, why don't they go get the ship? If Marion is dead, If everything is like resolved, kinda, why don't they go get the ship that they brought Daryl to France? Like, forget the plane, just go to the ship. Hello. But see, now I just skipped ahead to Marion dead. She's dead. And that also answers the question, what I said, what if a human gets injected with the serum? It's what happened to Marion. She dies. Like, it is kind of the same transformation for the zombie, but because the zombie's already dead, they just kind of become stronger. But so a human dies. But the thing is, they didn't show her after, because I don't think it killed the brain, right? So she died because of the serum and like her skin. And again, that's another scene that's like horrifying. Like, you see like those veins getting black and all of those things, like her skin literally like exploding, like those little bubbles, like it was so disgusting and so scary, but also so good. Like, that was good. That's such a good scene. And again, not relying on the zombies per se. Like a little, but not actually. But then again, there's another question. Did it actually kill the brain? Or did she just die normally? Because she can still become a zombie. But it does. I feel like it doesn't matter because she's already dead. So it's just another zombie. So yeah. And yeah. So Isabel, and see, I said all of this, and I was supposed to talk about Isabel. So the bitch got stabbed, and I'm like, you are stupid. I told you, because she took the little thing from when she was like with Daryl, that little thing from the floor, and I'm like, girl, if you're gonna use it, you better use it to kill him. And this bitch uses it and scratches his face of like the other guy, like the leader or whatever. She scratched his face, the bitch. I thought she was gonna slit his throat. Something worth it. No, she scratches his face. And then he gets the knife. Stupid hoe, how you feel? And I'm like, okay, does she die already? Because then she passed out. And I'm like, is she already dead then? Because usually when they get stabbed, they're still alive. They still run around. And I'm like, oh, she already passed out. And then she was like asleep on the floor. And I'm like, is she dead? Is she not? Like, it seems like she's... I don't want to say that she's overreacting, but how many people do we see in shows getting stabbed and they're still like awake? I don't know. I don't know why they put her asleep or whatever. But then, yeah, she woke up and she was like, fine, not a zombie. And then she was like outside, just running around, stabbed, blood leaking everywhere, zombies running around. No zombie came to her. She just went around the town, fine, nobody attacked her. Until that one zombie, and then that motherfucker comes running, and I'm like, Carol, I knew immediately because Carol was like fighting. Girl, the way she killed people, she said there was like two guys, and Carol was like, she had a knife, and she said, excuse me. Oh, excusez-moi. She said, no, excuse. She said, excuse. And she throws the knife at the motherfucker, dead, and then she shoots the other. I'm like, bitch, what is this? What is this? Like, she's so motherfucking badass. The way she killed all those people. Not even the zombies. And, like, actually killing the people, like the men. Crazy. And then, yeah, the zombie comes running to Isabel, and I'm like, you are stupid. Like, what? There's zombies running around. Why are you running around? But then I was like, either the zombie ignores her because she's already dying. But I don't think it works like that. But he had the virus, so who knows? Or Carol appears because she was like out there killing people. And I'm like, oh, Carol, tell me you're here. Because at that point, I'm like, maybe they can still save Isabel, you know. She can, you know, they can treat the wound. Like, you know, she lost blood, but still whatever. Like, it's not the first time that they cured, like, wounds in The Walking Dead and they survived. So, you know what I mean? Like, they cut Herschel's leg off or foot and he survived. So, what's a stab wound? Nothing. So, at that point, I was kind of still rooting for Isabel to be alive, even though I knew she wouldn't fit on the plane. Oh, let me charge my phone. And so yeah, then I was like, I already knew that Carol was gonna show up and save her. And then she did, and then they had like that so sweet interaction. She was like, "Oh my god, are you okay? Let me help you. Oh my god." And then she was like, I'm looking for a friend." And then we cut to Daryl, like the little boy was like went into like the jail that he was like in to run away from the zombies, and then it was like, "Oh, you better release me, bitch." He didn't even say anything. He just did this with his arm because he had the chain, and he like, "Release me, bitch." And then he did, and then badass as Daryl is again, both of them, Carol and Daryl, crazy motherfuckers, killing not only the zombies but also the people, like literally killing people and zombies alone, both of them, crazy. And then they reunite, and I'm like, what is right here already? Like, she was just standing there, and he was like, here. And then he was like, "Oh my god, Carol." And then I was like, "Oh my god, is he gonna think that it's like a vision, or is he gonna know that she's actually there?" Because he could think, "Oh my god, get away from me because you're a vision, you're not real." But no, he just runs to her, and then they start crying, and I'm like, "Oh my god, oh my god." But then it was kind of anticlimactic because they did change the Isabel, and I'm like, okay, that's it. Like, sure, they hugged a little bit, they cried, and then we cut to Isabel, and it's like, okay, girly pop, I know you're dying, but this is the reunion we've been waiting for, girl. But then, yeah, I mean, we have been with Isabel for some time now, so it was a fucking loss. But like I said, I knew she was gonna die. But it's still, it was a fucking loss, and it was really sad. And I just like, it was so crazy because he gets Carol back, right? But he loses Isabel. It's like he can't have both. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Like, he gets Carol, he reunites, and then she says, "Oh my god, Isabel's dying." And then she dies. And then she literally died right there. And I'm like, oh my god. And then for Carol to be like, to not know, and she was like watching it. Oh my god, it's crazy. Because then he was acting like kind of strange because he wanted to find Laurent, right? And then Carol was like, "Oh my god, tell me what's happening. Who's Laurent? Where are we going?" And he was like really out, like kind of out of his mind, and he was like in shock. And then I was like, yeah, how it must be so confusing that all of this happened, and then she died, but now Carol's here, and like, how is it supposed to act? Like, what is supposed to happen now? Because you know what I mean. And then he just like focused on Laurent and like finding him. Like, that was so crazy actually. And then they went into that house to find Laurent, and then they were like, the old. I don't think they were a couple. I don't fucking know. She said they weren't married, but maybe they were together. Yeah. But the whole time I knew it was gonna be a trap. Like, hello, how many times have we been through this? And it wasn't necessarily a trap, sure, because the woman, like, she was actually helping them and being useful. The man just had to be stupid. But it's a man. Are we surprised that men are stupid? Of course not. Like, and he called the guys to come get Carol, and then Marion came. Like, everyone came, whatever. Wait, but is that still? Oh, it is still episode 4. Yeah, I was gonna say. In a way, it kind of felt like we were already on episode 5. I don't know. But yeah, fix the car. It was a trap again. He called him, but then he had a change of heart, or I guess. But then what really got to me was like, how did the woman die? Because they were about to get shot, but then Daryl and Carol again, they killed all of the people. Like, again, both badass, they killed everybody. So, but then they come down, and then the woman is dead, and I'm like, who killed her then? And then the old man was like, oh, they shot her. And I'm like, who? Everyone is dead. Who shot her, bitch? Like, they were fighting upstairs with Carol. Daryl was outside. Nobody was inside to kill the girl. I feel like the old man was the one that killed her, and then he was crying over her body. Because who shot her? She was fine. Like, what do you mean? I feel like he killed her. But whatever. I feel like, I guess they moved on. So, I mean, I guess that storyline isn't important now. But yeah. And then when they were upstairs, they get Carol and Marion was talking about, oh, I lost a little of my life. And he was like torn to shreds right before my eyes with just a glass in between. Oh, Carol, do you understand? How do you even know what kind of pain that is? And I'm like, Mary, are you fucking stupid? You do know Carol's old, if not for anything else. You look at Carol, she looks like a grandma, whatever. And like, she looks beautiful. Melissa looks beautiful. I'm not saying, this is no shade. I'm saying that if you look at her, she looks like somebody's grandmother, right? Sure, no shit at all. But so you know that she's lived a long fucking life. How long has the apocalypse been happening? How can you fucking say to anybody? I'm not even saying because it's Carol, but especially because it's Carol and everything that she lost. But how can you say to anybody, oh, you don't understand that kind of pain? You do know that we are in the apocalypse. Everyone died. Everyone that's alive, everyone alive in the apocalypse lost somebody, lost something, lost somebody. Everyone, and literally everyone in the apocalypse that's alive is alive because of somebody. They lost somebody. Everyone had family. Everyone had friends. Everyone lost somebody. So how in the apocalypse, how do you have the fucking nerve? But then, yeah, you have that added layer, especially, you're going to say that especially to Carol. But then she didn't say like nothing back. Daryl just came and killed everybody again. And I'm like, okay. Because I thought she was going to be like, oh, I lost my daughter. Because we have the whole Sophia thing. And then they also had another barn. And then we had another flashback of Sophia. Like, it's crazy. But in a way, I liked it because they didn't deal with that in The Walking Dead. And, you know, it's an ensemble, or it was an ensemble show. So you have a lot of characters. So it is hard to deal with everything. So I do like that they're like doing this like Sophia storyline so that... Is that a bee? Oh, it's a fly. No, go outside. Oh my God. I thought it was a bee. That scared the shit out of me. Because of the sunlight, the fly looked yellow. Oh, so scared. But now they're inside. God damn, I hate flies. So yeah, I like that they're doing like the Sophia storyline so that like Carol can deal with that trauma and let her go. That's kind of what she said. Like, she never let Sophia go. So this is like the opportunity like to do so. You know what I mean? Because Ash kind of did the same thing. He had to let his son go to come on the trip. So I feel like in a way that it kind of helps Carol too. Even if she lied and she was not actually after Sophia, it can actually be something useful for her to, you know, also do the same thing Ash did and kind of let the kid go. But then how many times are we going to do this? Because she also lost Henry. So are we going to have season 3? She's going to have to let Henry go or no? Like, we're going to do the same thing, but with all the kids that she lost. And then look at the flowers. Season 4 is gonna be her with the 2 little girls. It's crazy. Carol's been through a lot, okay? But yeah, then Marianne dies. Whatever. And then that's the end of that episode. And then episode 5, we start with Ash. He had the little booby traps. That was so smart of him. Oh my God, everyone like was dead because they tried to get the plane. Everyone's dead because they put the booby traps. That was like so cool. It didn't feel like it passed as much time. Like we're seeing Daryl and Carol. It felt like it passed like maybe 3 days. So maybe it was. But the time that she said to Ash was like 2 weeks. So maybe it did pass more time, but they just didn't say. But I feel like it in the like maximum was like 4 days. It couldn't have been longer since she left Ash. 3-4 days. That's the longest. But yeah, he built the whole fucking house around that fucking plane, bitch. You better construct. Like, you better. There's another word, but I'm forgetting. Um, and yeah, Ash was all sorts of fucked up. And then that's another weird thing. He got into the car. Tell me why you're running from zombies. Especially a lot of zombies. There were a lot of zombies behind you. You're gonna get into a car. Have we learned nothing from Rick when he got into the tank literally in the first episode? A lot of zombies. He gets into the tank. And that was even worse because there was like a body inside. So that was like another zombie. And then he had to shoot him and then the bullet ricochet or whatever. That was crazy. But yeah, you're gonna get into a car with a whole those many zombies after you. You're gonna get stuck. You have nowhere else to go. You're not getting into a car if you're running from zombies. Duh. Unless you know the car can move, but he didn't know, and then he tried and he didn't. So I'm like, duh, what the fuck? You're just gonna get into a random car on the streets that you don't even know if it works? Ash, come on. And then another thing is that like he tried to open the door, and I'm like, the zombies are already here. You're gonna try and open the door? Are you even more dumb? And then he gets hit with the door. And then he like passes out. And then later in the episode he said that he was trapped in the car for 2 days. And I'm like, so he was like all sorts of fucked up because he got hit by the door? You know what I mean? That it felt like it was so exaggerated. The zombie hit him with the door. But that's it. Maybe it caused a concussion, sure, but 2 days and he was still like lying there just like this. I felt like it was too much for just getting hit with a door, and it wasn't even like really like hard. It was like he got hit, sure, that's it. It wasn't like a really strong like boom. Oh my god, no, it was like normal. I'm like, okay. And then that's the scene I was talking about in the beginning that also used that like those horror elements. Like he shot the virus into the other zombies. And then he used those 2 zombies so that they cleared the zombies around the car. And I was confused because I don't remember the serum being used for one zombie to attack another. You know what I mean? I don't remember if they showed it in season 1. But the zombies that get hit with the virus, they attacked the normal zombies. I didn't know about that. But then yeah, that scene was so cool. First of all, the 360 shot in the car, that was beautiful. Like just going around showing Ash and then Carol, then Daryl, and then silence. And then boom, the jump scare. Bitch, I jumped. I fucking jumped. And then you just see the blood everywhere, like, pa, pa. Literally like a horror. They're really leaning into more horror elements because I feel like a lot of the times on the Walking Dead, like, universe, they just use, because it's a zombie show, they just let that be enough for the horror. And they didn't, do scenes like this with, like, horror elements, like, really, like, a lot of blood and, like, really gross and then also scary and then jump scare. I feel like it transitioned into more of the people being the villain. So like Negan, he was the villain, he did bad stuff, and then they just occasionally had the zombies there. You know what I mean? Here in this show, especially because they are doing like the serum and trying to change the zombies, it feels like the zombies are the main focus. The zombies are what you should be afraid of, especially if they have the serum. And then you have those, like, scary scenes, like the blood all around the car. And then not only that, but when they got out of the car, not all the zombies were dead. They were, like, twitching. And I'm like, I'm really confused with what happened. But it was, like, really cool. And then they had to step on the zombies to get out of there. But they were like on the floor, like twitching. And that was also like really cool. Like it just feels like it is a horror show and not just the zombie. They're not just using like a villain, a person that's a villain and doing stuff. No, they're actually also using the zombies as a threat and like jump scares and like gory stuff and like really leaning into it. I really loved it. And then what happened then? After oh yeah, we got that beautiful community. That was so motherfucking beautiful. You know what that reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of Arcane. Did y'all watch Arcane? Like the scenery, you could literally see the Eiffel Tower. There was like plants everywhere. The way that set was built, it was so pretty. It really felt like kind of cartoon-ish. It was like really beautiful. I really loved it. And then we got another like a child while Carol was like walking around, and she had Sophia's like clothes, and I'm like, what the fuck? Here we go again. Here we go again. Like Sophia again. Like that's crazy. Like oh my god. Whatever. Oh yeah, I put the black lady was a good liar. So when they went to the community and Laurent was there, and while Daryl and Carol was like trying to find Ash, like the other guy came in, stormed in, and he was like looking for Laurent, and then he saw the cube, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like episode 4 and 5, they show the cube. I swear, and I never saw that like Rubik's cube in any of the episodes before, but maybe I didn't pay attention. And I'm like, how are we gonna show this? Because Daryl in the cave, he said, oh, Laurent was here because the thing was there. And now in this episode, he also recognizes the cube. And I'm like, I never saw this in my life before. And we get in 2 episodes and I'm like, what? But then, yeah. And then the black lady, he said, oh, we're looking for Laurent. And she said, oh, he's not here. We send him to you, whatever. And then she was like, oh, everybody, let's go. Let's make a plan. Let's go and try to find Laurent. And I'm like, oh my God, yes. Like immediately, no hesitation. She was just like, oh, let's lie. Everybody, let's make a plan. Let's try and find Laurent. If he wasn't for the fucking cube, they would have gotten away with it. And I'm like, because they never lied, or when they lie in situations like this, it never works. But now that she actually lied and she was a good liar, she was convincing, and she was like, oh, let's make the plan. He had to notice something. And he had to be the fucking cube. And I'm like, us, really? Like, it was actually such a good lie. And I'm like, oh, goddamn. Just me. And then Carol kept lying. And Daryl said, you know, it's for her to tell the truth, Ash. And then Ash said more things that felt Carol... That made Carol feel more guilty about what she did. And I'm like, it's one of two things. Either he knows that she's lying and he's doing it on purpose to make her feel more guilty, or he's really clueless. And I'm like, in a way, that's kind of a good thing, because he was like very trusting and very helpful to Carol and to do all of this to bring her here. But Ash, I'm sorry, but you're just clueless. Because then look at how he got upset because when she told him the truth. He got so upset, and I'm like, babe, that's your fault. You were too naive. Like, I get being helpful and hopeful, but you were too naive to just trust a random person that they were telling the truth. But even if it was the truth, like, did you really think she was going to find Sophia if she was actually there? 13 years in the apocalypse, however long has it been. Do you really think she would be in a foreign country alive? Come on. Come on, Ash. Clueless. Just me. But I get he was upset. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, it's fucked. Because he did say, like, all of those comfort moments that, like, he tried when he tried to comfort Carol. You know, like, those moments weren't for nothing because she still lost her child. And then he said, oh, you made me leave my home. You made me leave my world and get away from my son to do all this based on a lie. And I'm like, but you still needed that, Ash. You know what I mean? He was trapped in that place. He was trapped with his son. He needed to move on. And so even though she lied and he's upset, he still moved on. We still got something good out of it. You know what I mean? So I guess we'll see from now on if he actually dies, if he doesn't. We'll see. If he like forgives Carol, I don't know. We'll see. And then yeah, they were running again, and they were like in the catacombs of like the bar. They had the secret passage. Where was Carol though? I'm confused. Yeah, I'm just now thinking about it. Where was she? Was she in the catacombs too? I don't remember. Oh no, she was with Ash. Okay, yeah, she was with Ash. It was when she was telling him the truth. Yeah, so then Daryl killed everybody again. Killed more people. And then also the other guy, the Calderon, I think that's his name. I don't know. But again, he was like really hot in this episode. Really. Like that was so he had the hotness in this episode. And then yeah, they just killed more people. Again, really fucking powerful. And then Calderon, like he left the girl alive. Like he picked her up and threw her against the wall. I don't know if she thought she was gonna die, but it's like, you killed everybody. Like, shot them, breaking necks, stabbing. And then the girl or the woman, you just throw her against the wall and you thought she was dead. Like, hello. And then they show her, like, later, and she was like this, and she was alive. And I'm like, oh, she's gonna come back and do some more shit. Like, you could have just killed her, but they didn't because she was a woman. Because they killed everybody, all of the men, even the other guy that was supposed to be the leader. Like, Daryl killed him with the skull and literally bashed his skull on the floor. But then you can't kill the woman. Come on, you should have killed her too. But whatever. And then yeah, we had the double fight scene, like him fighting the leader, Calderon fighting the girl. Yeah, like that was such a cool parallel. Like they're both like doing the final fight, or like the boss fight, and they were like it was going like one fight, and then we changed to the other fight, and then yeah, obviously they both win. It's Daryl, of course, is gonna win. And yeah, we finished episode 5 with no space on the motherfucking plane. So I guess we will see who dies next. Probably is gonna be Ash, because they're not gonna kill Daryl or Carol. So Ash is gonna die, mark my fucking words. Not that I want to, but he totally will. That's a shame though. I like Ash. I do like him because he was like so innocent though. Like the way he was upset kind of annoyed me, because like it's your fault. You were kind of naive, but at the same time he did trust Carol. And I do like that. It's like he got his trust broken for the first time. You know what I mean? Like he's not used to it, so he got really upset that she lied. But I do like that. And the actor is so fine. Hello, I'm here. Ash's actor. Hottie. Hot stuff. But yeah, that's it for this review, commentary, theories, and everything. Next week is gonna be the last episode already. It's only 6. Like it goes by so fast. But yeah, we're gonna be back next week for the last one. We'll see what happens. I don't think they're gonna make it to America, because if they're already filming season 3, they're probably gonna go to another place. And if they went back home, they would have to show Judith and everybody. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that. I really wanted a show with them again, like everybody. Like Negan and Maggie come back to Alexandria. Daryl and Carol come back to Alexandria. And then, I don't know, maybe we got a new variation of the zombies. And they actually have to fight the zombies for once. Like an actual season of a Walking Dead show to fight only the zombies. You know what I mean? That would be cool, but I don't think they're gonna do that. Even Rick and Michonne, I want literally everybody together again, and they should totally do that. But I guess we will see. Let me know in the comments what you thought of these 2 episodes, what you think is gonna happen in the finale. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, And I guess I'll see y'all next week for the last episode of The Walking Dead. Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol. Bye.